Hey there guys, Knux here, back on the Chaoscraft server. Woohoo! And today we're going to get back on with our secret project. I don't think you can see it from here. It'll come into view though. So yeah, we're back. I went mining. There wasn't really that much interesting footage, just me lighting up areas and collecting coal, iron, that kind of thing. But we did manage to fill up some of the furnaces with coal for a little while, and now we've got plenty of smooth stone. I think it's in this chest here. Yeah, so here we go. Plenty of this stuff to get on with what we want to get on with. We'll get rid of all this other stuff quick. Wrong chest. So yeah. All this iron and stuff can go in here as well. Smooth stone, melon seeds, lapis, gold. There's more smooth stone in there. I think all of these, yeah, all of these are out of coal now. So we'll just quickly refill all these, and then when I get some more coal, it'll be easy to just put back together. We'll start at the top. So we want to put cobblestone in there and take the smooth stone out. Smooth stone out, cobblestone in. And this way, as soon as we get more resources, we'll be able to. Oh, that one wasn't full. We'll be able to complete. Oh, this one's still got some coal in it. Go, go, go! Burn, baby, burn! Oh, and this one. Oh, maybe this middle row's. Yeah, this middle row's still a bit loaded, which is nice. I don't think I've got any more. Oh yeah. So yeah, today we're going to get back on with the floating island. Yeah, I finally said it, there you go. It's that's the secret project we're working on, obviously. So yeah, we'll get back on with that today. I need more cobblestone, that's why I came back over here. We'll get rid of some of this smooth stone because it's confusing me. Some of the villagers over there wandering around in the background. There we go. So cobblestone, cobblestone, and cobblestone. There we go. We'll put the rest of this stuff away. My voice is a bit crackly today. Let me just take a drink, see if that fixes it. And I won't be overloading anyone with dubstep today. This is just going to be a talking build video, I guess. I keep a cart in my inventory. I should probably keep a boat in there too, now that I'm working on this. And I wanted some torches as well, but never mind. I'm sure I will come to regret this soon. Hopefully I'll get up there before it turns proper night and we can get on with building without any mobs spawning. I don't quite know what I'm going to talk about. Yesterday I cut down 4 of my tobacco plants. It's the first time I've grown tobacco, and they're now currently hanging up and drying in my room. There's a lot more on it. Well, there's a lot more plant than I had imagined there would be. So hopefully, because cigarette prices these days are ridiculous. They're through the roof. I can't afford it anymore. So I am just going to grow my own, as it were, which is probably better for me. There's no pesticides or chemicals on it. I know what's in there because I've grown it myself. So now I want to find the tallest of these legs. We'll go over here. It's always good to start off on the tallest one for what I'm about to do. And what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to try and do the outline of the island. Oh. Okay, cool. So this one's sort of like a sheer cliff sort of one, so we might need to bring this one down around the edges. We'll make it wide, and then bring it in a little bit later. There we go. And maybe from here we'll add a few more blocks going out. Not many though, we don't want to add too many because the more we add, the more we've got to correct how this leg comes out. We'll off-center the point and see what that does, and then we'll put this back here, and then we'll carry on round this way. And the trick is to try and get all the legs to match up. You might have to build up on some of them. And this is just a basic floor. Now with the new height, this island is way low, do you know what I mean? Like, we've got miles of building space above here now. So yeah, this is just like a level floor, and then on top of this will be like sort of hilly region, I guess, and then a watery area, snow maybe, I don't know. I'll try and make it a bit varied. See what we can come up with. I don't like that. I think that will work better. Or maybe chop this block here out. Yeah, that works much better. We need to be building out a bit more to meet that leg though. Excuse me. So yeah, growing your own tobacco. It was interesting. You can buy 1,000 seeds. Now this is the ridiculous thing, yeah. You buy a packet of cigarettes in the UK these days, and 10 of them, 10 Richmond Super King. I'm not trying to do any brand names or anything here. Like other cigarettes are available. I don't recommend getting into smoking though. It's probably not one of the better habits. Go spend your money on sports equipment and that kind of thing. Live life. Go travelling, that kind of thing. Don't waste it on cigarettes. Hypocrite of the Year award goes to Knux V1. But yeah, so you can buy the seeds for tobacco for about £1.99 to £2.50 a pack off eBay. As dodgy as that sounds. And yeah, so 1,000 seeds, and I planted mine wrong initially. I don't think mine were. They're meant to be sown on top of the soil and not underneath. So and I went ahead and sowed mine underneath, which was a bit of a mistake, but they still grew, which was exciting, good news. And now that they're fully grown, I've got them growing in the greenhouse. There's about 50 plants that have come through. I've harvested 4 of them that I planted in the garden, and since doing that I've put another 4 in to replace the ones that I took out. So they'll grow, and then once they're ready, I'll chop them down as well. See, this leg we're going to need to extend up and possibly out a little bit. So we'll just keep going with this for now, and then we'll come back and fix this. And like I said, the entire island is not going to be this level. So these legs are coming up. So this one's obviously a short one, so we'll have to increase the height on this one and bring it up to about there, and then we'll dip it back in and have these as sort of lowlands and that kind of thing. So it'll be much more interesting looking than any of the stuff I've built on the server already. All my stuff on this server looks pretty weak compared to some of the stuff that I've built in the past. So I'm hoping this will put me back on point. So there's the centre point. We'll extend this out a little bit. Put that there. And again, that one will be made higher, so this all looks lower. That one over there looks really low. And one of the legs has got quite a jagged look to it. I think it's that one, yeah. I need to fix that as well. Lots of fixings to do, but you know, that's all just touching it up at the end, isn't it? So anyway, back to the tobacco plants. I've cut them down. They take about 4 weeks to dry out, and then an additional couple of weeks to cure, as far as I'm aware. And I've currently got them hanging above my bed because I've got a punch bag hook. And the punch lock, we've moved the bed under where the punch bag used to be. After it exploded, me and a good friend of mine, we was going at it one day on the punch bag, and it just burst, man. I don't think it was a particularly good quality one, but now I've got a much higher quality one, and while I was without a punch bag, I've moved my bed, and now the hook needs changing where it is. But the hook acts as a good tobacco dry out area, it seems, for the time being. You've got to be careful when you're handling that sort of stuff, though, because you can get nicotine poisoning from handling tobacco leaves too much. But yeah, like I was saying, ridiculous that it costs so much money for the processed, chemical added, nicely packaged kind of deal, and the amount of tax you have to pay on them, and then compare that to the sort of amount you can grow yourself, and you're only allowed to grow it for personal consumption. You're not allowed to sell it. I think you can give it away, but don't hold me to that. I'm no expert on the law. I just know that it's totally legal to grow it for yourself. So yeah, any smokers out there, get on it. Good investment, I feel, especially if you've got just like a small garden or I don't know, I guess you could grow them on a windowsill, but they do get quite large. So that's something. The space is definitely something to look out for. I gave a few away to my friends as sort of housewarming presents. My mate Nick, Peacemaker, he's got one that I gave him a while ago when he moved into his new place. He's moved out of there since then, but he's still got the plant. Last time he spoke to me, it was about 3 feet tall, so that was doing alright. You'll be able to see pictures of these plants on Facebook and that, so if you've added me on there, go over there and take a quick look. There's a picture of me holding them up, looking like they look like fish in my hands. Well, like if you went fishing and held up the sort of trophy fish that you'd caught, it looks like I'm holding up the trophy tobacco plant sort of thing. So yeah, definitely go check that out if you've got a few minutes. I'll leave it up to the imagination. Well, the my Facebook name, obviously, Knux1, and I should probably explain some of the names that I've got. Knux has always been one of my nicknames, from all the times I used to play Sonic and Knuckles and all the sort of, there was this game of called Knux in school. Or I think people remember it as Knuckles Down. I seem to remember it as Knux, but I'm not sure if that was just because of my obsession with Sonic. But you used to have to flick a coin at each other's knuckles, and if I can't reach that leg, that's quite annoying. If it was usually the first person to bleed, but in our school, being Appleton, it was the first one to give up, and yeah, I did pretty well in that. Me and a friend, we used to have some pretty severe battles with that. And we had all sorts of weird coins and that kind of thing. This was when we were back at school, so glad to say we've grown up a little bit since then. But I took a pair of wire cutters to a 2p coin and varnished both sides of it with like nail polish and that kind of thing. And used that for a little while. So this jagged 2p coin used to glide across the table really well. Used to do a lot of damage. Like it was brutal. But then my mate, he used to use things like smaller coins, like 5p pences, and sharpen the edges on them. And the thing about a smaller coin is it goes quicker and it hits harder. It might not do as much, it might not cause as much damage, but they're faster, and that's what really cuts you up. And like you can have a jagged coin, but you'll only do little dents to people, nothing too severe. But with a 5p coin that's had the edges sharpened and that thing, whoa, not nice. So yeah, but yeah, the names of the characters like, as you know, in Blacklight Retribution, I play a character called Rogue Savannah, and she's actually one of the characters from the book, one of the books that I've written called Split Personality, and she's like an assassin character, so it sort of made sense to put her in Blacklight Retribution as a thing. So yeah, Knux V1, he's one of the engineers for one of the older stories. Taking Flight, yeah, that one's Taking Flight. Probably one of my better books that I've written. Definitely go check that out. It's available on Amazon, and it's also available on it's completely Smashwords. Go to smashwords.com and look for Taking Flight, or Split Personality, or Black Star is another good one. The Split Personality and Black Star, they're sort of monthly releases, but I think now that I'm doing this YouTube thing, I'm going to just compile them all into one long book, as opposed to releasing them in bits and pieces, because I think that's just long-winded, and I know when I read a book, I like to sort of get into it, as opposed to get 3 chapters in and then have to wait a few months for the next one. So I think I'm going to stop releasing them as a sort of monthly thing. In fact, I have stopped releasing them as a monthly thing, and I'm just going to write the whole book as a whole thing. So yeah, go check them out. They were great fun to write, some of them. The one I'm currently enjoying writing, that I'm working on at the minute, is a sort of introduction to the universe we've created. It's called Shell Shock, and that's the name of the ship that the crew fly around the galaxy on. They're part of a larger fleet. It's set 1,000 years before the events of Taking Flight, which is set 2,000 years after all the races and that have migrated from Earth and settled their own planets and that kind of thing. Sorry, Shell Shock is set 500 years after the colonisation of space, which is about 1,000 years after everyone's left Earth. So, and it sort of sets the scene, and they've, like, a large fleet has been tasked with, oh, this corner's been a bit cut off. I think we'll extend this one lengthways a bit more. So yeah, the crew of the Shell Shock have been tasked, alongside a larger fleet of a combination of all the other races' ships, to explore a sector of the galaxy called Unknown Space. And Unknown Space is, like, the humans were unable to sort of colonise it. They found an area of space that they'd already sort of mapped out from Earth, and they sort of knew this is where they wanted to go. And that's why most of the planets were already named when they got there, because they were discovered on Earth, and sort of in keeping with their forefathers, they decided to keep the names of the planets that their forefathers had decided to give them. So they all joined forces, or most of them joined forces, to explore Unknown Space and establish whether or not it's a threat. There we go, look at that. I need to sort this little area here out. This went a bit wrong. But yeah, so they join a fleet and go hunting through Unknown Space to find all sorts of goodies. And I don't want to give too much away, but it doesn't go in the human race's favour by any means. But yeah, as soon as that's released, that'll be coming out in paperbacks. The first paperback we're releasing through the Troubled Core label. Most of our other books are available as ebooks. They're available on Amazon in Kindle format, so feel free to check that out as well. I've got a lot of support from my family and friends. They've all sort of bought the I know most of my friends have downloaded the samples, but I haven't got very many friends who are big readers. Oh, yeah, that can stay there. So there we go. And pull this out a little bit more as well. And there we go. That is... We'll have a quick walk around and try not to fall off. There are bits and pieces that could do with a bit of touching up here and there. So yeah, but that's the book I'm currently working on, so look forward to that. Shell Shock, written by Knux V1, David Nye. It's the first time I think I've given my name away on YouTube. Bit scared now that there's going to be people looking for me, or not looking for me, start stalking me and that kind of thing. Just for being on the internet. So yeah, check that out. But yeah, my family got all their friends to download the books and that kind of thing. Can we make this jump? Risky! No, I didn't even, the run didn't work. Oh well. You get to see me climbing up a ladder for another couple of minutes now. Enjoy. Oh wow, that looks, yeah, that's cool. I'm sort of glad I fell down now. Yeah. So that's the shape of the island. That's what's going to take a lot of my time to fill, but hopefully with more dubstep and a lot of patience we'll get through it. I have built one of these before on a creative server. It was a little bit bigger, but the intention behind that was to have it as an adventure map of sorts. And we might take a look at that in future episodes, like we did with the Tribu mod, available on my channel. Go check it out now if you like the Call of Duty zombies, or just like beating the hell out of zombies in Minecraft. Go check out my Tribu playlist. It allows you to set up a sort of Nazi zombies map within Minecraft. So that's good fun. But yeah, the island that I originally built was supposed to be just a sort of adventure map. And yeah, but we something happened to that server. The island is still saved as a schematic somewhere for MC Edit. And so yeah, we might go back to working on that again. More ideas came about, and I think another version of Minecraft got released, so we started working with that instead. I should really use stone in here to pillar up, because it all needs filling out anyway. Now our task gets a little bit more difficult, because we've got to... I'm so not looking forward to 1.3 if they haven't fixed that that jump block glitch. But yes, so we were hoping to make a floating island on one of the older servers that people sort of use, not as an adventure map, but there was going to be a points-based system mode, and then there was also going to be a sort of story-based mode as well. We'll take that block off of there, that's going to look ridiculous otherwise. And we'll slam that in there. All good, all good, all good. Oh, the amount of full damage I take while walking around this thing is slightly silly. So yeah, there was going to be a story mode where you sort of Matt the Geek, he built a ship on that server and it looked incredible. It was a real, I think this is the one we started on. Yeah, okay, so we'll go back. And he built a ship that was going to be sort of like a slave ship, and you'd served out your term, or you'd done what you needed to do, and you'd escaped the slave ship or whatever. And from there, your job was to survive and thrive and help the inhabitants of this. Oh yeah, that was it. Whenever villagers came out, we decided that we wanted to use villagers in it, and the height limit got increased as well, I think. Oh, this looks a bit off centre. So again, we built the floating island in an old version of Minecraft that didn't quite have the height limit. I need to build around here quickly. And that again prompted our decision to change and start all over again. But yeah, and we wanted to use villagers, so we put the schematic into MC Edit, and then it just ended up being part of a larger map. So yeah, but yeah, villagers came about, and they would have been very useful for what we wanted to achieve, because you were sort of, the goal was to not help the villagers so much, but thrive and survive on their island, and help them with certain missions that you could have done for them, and they would have paid you for the work you did and that kind of thing. Again, off centre. I think I need to sort my field of view out. I can't go around repairing this all the time. We'll start there. That was well offline, exactly what I was just saying. We have to take this one out now to build around. So that was the original floating island, and that was so close to completion as well. And when they just updated the world height, and I started having troubles in MC Edit and that kind of thing, I lost all my passion for it. But yes, there's not much you can do. They're constantly updating this game, and it's a good thing. When they stopped updating Terraria, I stopped playing that game. When they announced they weren't going to update it anymore, I was just like, nope. It was a cool game, but and it was a complete game as well. But games like this, you sort of Minecraft's got it right. Like Mojang have got it right with their whole update every now and then, but keep updating, because this game will only keep being successful if there's constantly something new, and if there's pardon me, if there's more things for people like Seth Bling, Etho, Doc M to come up with, and if there's more interesting ways. See, Minecraft isn't so much a game anymore, it's more of like a showcase of the sort of things you can come up with in this totally creative sandbox world. So I don't even think sandbox is the right term. I don't think. A new term I've been hearing recently, and I don't think it's a new term or anything, I just think I haven't really been paying too much attention. Voxel, I think voxel gaming, or voxel block type games. I think this is a voxel block type game. I could be wrong, but yeah, I haven't really heard that term before, but I think that would be a better term to describe Minecraft. It sounds technical, it sounds like it works. And there's also the whole modding scene as well. I seem to remember, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, this always happens, but I seem to remember quite a few games being successful just because of the mods you could get for them. I remember Fallout 3 definitely had a huge modding scene, and besides all the sort of nudity patches you could get, which were a bit ridiculous. I mean, this is the internet, for Christ's sakes, you know where to find porn. Why do you need to do it in a game? But, it's not to say I didn't check it out. Obviously I checked it out, you got to. But it was ridiculous. But again, that's just an example of the sort of mods that game had that made it more successful and more enjoyable for sort of the long term. And this game is enjoyable for the long term because it seems to be getting not an expansion pack every time there's an update, but it gets a lot more added every time there's an update, which is good. This is what we want. New stuff, shiny new stuff, like tripwires. They're going to be amazing. The amount of stuff you're going to be able to set up with them. And Seth Bling's already worked out some sort of chat roulette. I'm not 100% sure what that is. The way he explained it made it sound like it was sort of like a chat room that you didn't get to speak to the same person twice on. But yeah, and he demonstrated that with villagers. But he's made sort of like a real life thing in Minecraft, and I think he needed tripwire for that. But again, like, without the constant updates, I mean, if we was all still running on 1.8, I don't think this game would be as popular as it is. I mean, everyone's getting really excited about being able to trade with villagers. Everyone's getting excited about the sort of new ore types and the new coloured block that comes with that new ore type. I think there's only one new ore type. I don't think there's loads coming in. But when they do update, and this is the unfortunate side of constantly updating a game, bugs become really sort of apparent, or every time you fix one set of bugs, another set of bugs pops up in its place. And I think there's never going to be a point where Minecraft's going to be by 100% bug free. I don't think. By but it will be interesting to see how they get rid of the majority of the major ones. But the other side to that is obviously some of the glitches work to our benefit, like a sand generator. Again, it's not a system I'm familiar with, I don't know how it works. But yeah, that's a glitch in the game. Some people find that useful. I don't use them personally. I've got a big desert around here somewhere. And efficiency 4 shovel will probably go through that in no time on a multiplayer server, so I don't really need a sand generator. But it's a glitch in the game that that some people feel they need, and if it's in the game, I suppose it's in the game. No way, as if I really just did that. Oh, I only had a little bit of use left on it anyway. I'm not going after it, and I've got 16 levels here waiting. I can just go back to the zombie skelly spawner thing, and we can do that. I'll do one side, and then I think it might be wise if I go get some torches. I need to work out. There we go. I don't want to put that there. I want to put it there. There we go. So yeah, that's going to look a bit crazy. What was I going to say? So yeah, as long as they keep updating Minecraft, I think it will continue to be the successful game it is. That's what kind of annoyed me about the Xbox version. So I've paid money for the Xbox version, like I paid money for this version. This version was probably cheaper, to be honest with you. I think I got it pre-beta, so alpha. But I don't think it was very good then, and I sort of just bought the account to play it, and after a few hours just put it back down again. I was like, no, this isn't for me. And then later on it became really sort of popular, and I started watching the Yogscast, Shadow of Israel and all that. I'm not huge fans of them anymore. I'm about to start a shitstorm on the internet if people start discovering these videos. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Yogscast. Sorry about that, guys. I know the fanboys are going to get pretty upset. Yeah, army of fanboys, and they've got some severe fanboys, man. It's a bit crazy. Like when that whole thing with Notch and them went down at Minecon, I think that was last year. Oh man, it's just so much internet immaturity from a lot of people, and I don't think that's what this game is about. I think this game is, especially the multiplayer aspect of it, this game has given us the Mindcrack server and things like that, where people are coming together and they're helping each other out, and they're really they're elevating the game. They're doing things in Minecraft that are incredible, like BWO's Arena, that kind of thing. They're just insane build projects. So yeah. But yeah, I started watching those guys and got back into Minecraft now when they'd improved it a little bit more from alpha. I think I started it when they released it. It started up again when they released it in beta. And in beta, I ended up buying a few key codes for a good friend of mine, Tahu. I think I've mentioned him before. And if you get a chance, go to spacechaos.darkbb.com. Go check out some of his works on that site, or some of his posts on that site. His sci-fi ability is incredible. Definitely a pleasure to work with, all the time, 100%. There's never a dull moment with Tahu. So yeah, I bought him a copy of the game, and I bought one of his friends, Cluster, a copy of the game. And I don't think I've ever actually seen Cluster. Oh no, my pick broke. I don't think I've ever seen Cluster in a game of Minecraft. I think he just took the account and went and did his own thing, which is fair enough. We were going to use those sorts of people and their accounts to run storylines and that. Tahu built an amazing ship on the other server, and again an update popped around, and and the server went down for a little while, and then when we all came back, it was fresh world, new everything. So yeah, but that map again still stored somewhere, the Sci-Fi map that we were working on. I'm trying to remember the storyline to it. We crashed in a shuttle. Oh, one of the ships that we was on gets destroyed, and we land in a pod or a shuttle of some kind, and we're forced to land, or we crash land on this random planet, and we're forced to go visit the locals, go visit. Excuse me, let me just take a drink. Yeah, so they're forced to go to the nearby settlement that they've crashed to, and they put them in the direction of the sort of city of the entire of the sort of like the main hub where all the ships come and go and that kind of thing. And we pretty much completed building that map. I'm just gonna have to punch this out. We pretty much completed building that map. I don't think it's ever going to get played through because, again, more ideas, new height limit, villagers, that kind of thing. There's all stuff we can use to really increase the immersion factor of that map. Oh man, I might have to. Oh, I've got to go back. I won't bore you with the journey back. I'll just I'll stop the episode here, and I think I'll probably see you on another video. But before I go, I'll show you what this looks like from below, and I'll also just finish my quick story about the Sci-Fi map that we built. Basically, we crashed on an island. We had to go to the nearby settlement. That looks bad ass. Oh man, I'm so happy with that. I cannot wait to see this lower side completed. So you crash landed. You had to go to the nearby settlement. They put you in direction of the nearby town, and from there you and the way we were going to play it was Tahu was going to find one of his old rivals. We were going to find a sort of shady operation in one of the bars and get put onto a fight underground the city where you could sort of earn shuttles and ship parts and that kind of thing. Our ship's totally destroyed at this part. There's no way, even finding parts, that it would get back in the air. So Tahu joins this fight club and ended up fighting one of his old rivals, Banner, and he's another character from the stories that we write. And he causes problems for Tahu. He used to cause problems for Tahu all the time. He hasn't really been about recently. We've had much bigger issues. But yeah, that's not lined up, but I'll fix that later. Yeah, so obviously he'd win the fight. But it would have been one of them close fights, like drama, that kind of thing. And yeah, so then we'd win a ship off Banner, or we'd steal the ship key off of Banner, run out, escape the fight club, and yeah, and we'd get to the spaceport and escape. But there's all sorts of other bits and pieces. The main storyline for the overall story was to get you're finding the legendary ship, and I can never pronounce this. Is another one of Tahu's creations, the Euralis, or something like that. And yeah, it's like a legendary ship in the universe, and that was our sort of main goal, was to try and hunt that down and find that. And there was going to be a clever storyline twist at the end, but yeah. Apart from that, we are kind of, when Tahu gets back on scene, and when we've got a few more people on this server, I will reveal my latest ideas for my latest adventure map. And as long as there's a gap like there's been between 2.5, I think it is, and 3.0, or 1.3, yeah, 1.25 and 1.3, as long as there's another gap that's this long, and they're not adding anything that's sort of game changing besides villager trading, then the adventure maps can go and they can work, and they can they can finally be released. I have got a Sci-Fi map that is ready for release, but I'm not too happy with it at the minute. Right, it works, it's good, but there are just some bits and pieces that don't really make sense. Like, there's a lot of split paths that you can take and that kind of thing, and I don't really think it's ready for release. But who knows? I might get round to tidying it up and refining it and then releasing it. But I've got to change some ranges, because if 1.3 comes out and I release that map, then you'll be able to interact with villagers that you're not really supposed to interact with. So yeah, look forward to that if that pops about. But until then, I've been Knux, and you've been watching me build the floating island. Look forward to more of these crazy episodes. I might, now that you've seen how one side goes, I might fill the other 3 sides in and then start working to fill the basin up, and only record me filling the basin up. Unless of course you've enjoyed this sort of talky episode, in which case I might film the whole damn thing and just talk all the way through it, and next time maybe we can discuss some other bits and pieces, something a bit more interesting than tobacco leaves and that kind of thing. So yeah, I've been Knux, thank you very much for watching. As always, look forward to the next one. Goodbye.